So, welcome to the Atlanta Real, the digital talk show platform. This is a show to introduce everyday heroes who have an inspiring story to tell about their journey and their passion. We keep it real at the Atlanta Real, one story at a time. And I'm your host, Adeline Kumar. Now, we have a very interesting and exciting person on our show today, and his name is Danny Dos Santos. I'm very excited to introduce him because he has an inspiring story to tell and a passion that he is pursuing. So, without any further ado, I welcome Danny to our show. Hi, Danny. How are you doing today?
Hi, Adeline. I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good as well. Thank you. Now, tell us briefly about where you live and what are you doing currently and what were you doing in the past?
Okay, so I currently live in West London, North Acton specifically. I've lived in different parts of London at different points of my life. I've also lived up north in Northern England, in Manchester. And for a long time, since I was a teenager, I'm in my mid-20s now, and since I was a teenager, I've been interested in two things: fitness and technology. So money was a big driver for me in the beginning, and therefore I thought that tech was the most secure way to get to that goal. And so I went purely for that, whilst keeping fitness very much in my life. And from that age, from mid-teens, I've been doing gym training. I've been doing Muay Thai training, which is kickboxing, which I'm sure we'll get into more in a sec. But over the last few years, since reaching certain goals financially, I felt like I was missing something, missing a part of myself, that actually there was part of my passion not being fulfilled. And that part was my fitness part. As the years have gone on, I've got so much more into training. I've started training more often. I train now 6 days a week. And over the last few years, I've really tried to focus on balancing my gym training with my Muay Thai training. And that is my primary focus at We Fight Fat, which is my PT business.
So, exactly at what point of time you felt the need to do this? Were you like motivated by someone else in your family? Who was your motivation behind what you're doing right now?
I would say so myself more than anything. I think there's been some key players, maybe people like David Goggins, Jordan Peterson, who are big. They're authors and they also have amazing careers in themselves. And those are two key mentors. I read both their books last year, and actually last year, this is going to sound very cliche, but I was on a sort of a soul finding trip. I went on a 3-week trip of America on my own. Well, the first half of it was on my own. And I remember the key moment where I thought I need to change what I'm doing in my life. So I was in, I think it was Atlanta Airport, and I was ready to fly to Los Angeles. And I was flying with, I think it was Spirit, or it's the
Right.
airline that's always unreliable in America.
Right.
And
Frontier,
and
I think. Frontier.
oh, okay. And well, I think it was Spirit this time, but there was like 2 flights delayed, right?
Okay.
And so everyone was sitting around in the gate, and I thought, I was thinking to myself, if I go back to work my 5 days a week IT job, will I be totally happy? And I knew from a financial aspect that I was happy, but I knew that something was missing. And I do enjoy parts of my IT job, but at that point, I just thought, I love fitness so much. I love training in the gym. I love training Muay Thai. I've actually helped certain friends throughout my life since my teens, helped certain friends get into shape just because of I enjoy it, not even saying, okay, I'm going to train you now. They just came with me and they got into shape as well. And I just felt like, why am I not doing this? Like, why don't I just do this? And I think I said to myself, as soon as actually there and then, I started looking at PT programs to learn, to actually qualify and get the tick in the box of saying I am qualified. Even though I've had a certain amount of experience, I thought, well, it's probably a good idea to get qualified. And so once I came back from that trip, the first week I came back from the trip, I applied to become a PT. And then since then,
So,
I've, yes,
sorry to interrupt you. What does PT stand for? Is it physical training?
a personal trainer.
Personal training. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I decided to become a personal trainer, and I was studying to do that outside of my normal day job. And so I was probably just before the lockdown
Right.
was introduced in the UK. I was just about to do my written level 2 exam. I'd passed my level 2 practical. I was about to do my level 2 exam. Everything got called off, as you can imagine.
Right.
And I thought, this is about when I decided to do the London Real Academy course. I thought, do I have to wait to be qualified to start training people? And I started asking people close to me and asking those who I'd helped before. And they said, why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? So I think it was me who first decided to make that switch in my life. But in this year, recently, when I decided to do the London Real course,
Right.
that was influenced by other people saying, you can do this, go do it. And I was like, actually, I can do this. I can see where this could go. And that's when I decided to do the London Real course. So yeah, that's
So,
kind of the...
so what brought? Okay, you were watching London Real TV, right? David Goggins
Yes.
TV and all that. Okay, fine. Now, like, can you tell us briefly, like, how the course was about?
Yeah, so the course kind of...
What was the outcome of the course? How, did you benefit out of the course? So tell us briefly.
I definitely benefited from the course. It really, it gave me a few things. The first thing, it just reaffirmed my self-confidence. It gave me a really good self-confidence in believing in the knowledge I have. Obviously, realizing I still have a lot to learn, but parallel to that, realizing I have a lot to already offer. And I think my fear before was that, why would someone want to listen to me? And I think the course, and just in the first early modules, realizes there's a specific niche that I care so much about, and I actually do have something to offer it. And the more you investigate it, the more it lights that fire. It starts as like a match, and then by the end of the course, it's like a campfire. You literally, your fire's growing over the London Real course, and it starts off as you know, helping you find your niche. What's your specific thing that you can offer the world? And then it helps you refine that down, and then it shows you how to set up a website. It shows you how to set up your first product. And one of the most amazing things was, in the beginning of the course, it really gets you comfortable with vlogging, which I recommend all watchers of this podcast should start vlogging. Start just talking about things you care about, because you might have an idea that can turn into a business and you might not even realize it. And it's only when you actually put yourself out there and you say, I'm interested in XYZ, and then someone else comes along and goes, yeah, you know about XYZ. What about just Z on its own? Or they'll ask you questions, and it will get that ball rolling. And before you know it, you're like, you're 10 vlogs in before you know it, and you're near to, you're closer to your audience. You're closer to what you think you can offer. There's all of these things that start happening that you just don't think about it. Like before, you just think vlogging is vlogging. You don't understand the power of it. And so that's one of the biggest things. I think it's just self-confidence is probably the biggest thing I got from it. And the second thing is just having that structure to set things up in a business way. Those are the two things I would say.
Well, thank you for sharing about that. You know, I'm actually able to relate and resonate that with you, because I went through the course, you know, with you. I had the same problem, and I had to push through what is called as resistance.
Yes.
And with the help of my team and all the team leaders, I was able to do that. You know that, Danny, very well. So
Mm.
let's come back to you now. Tell us about how and why you formed this We Fight Fat, and what does it actually has got to offer the people?
Sure. So the reason I formed it, actually, interestingly enough, a few months before I decided to do the London Real course, I went for a drink with a friend, a mentor and a close friend. And he was one of the first people to say to me, "Why are you not doing more?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, okay, you're looking to become qualified, but what are you doing about grabbing an audience? What are you doing about developing your niche, your specific thing?" And this was before I even joined the London Real course. And so he said, "Do you know what you need? You need a domain. You need to get a domain. You need to get some." And for those out there who don't know what that is, it's basically a website name. It's just the name of your website. And he's in business, he's in property, he's in IT as well. And he told me, get a domain that identifies with what you care about. You don't even have to have the website, but just do that as your first step to give you that kick.
Wow.
So we were brainstorming ideas, and he was the one that actually gave me the name We Fight Fat, because I gave him another name. I bought one domain, and he was like, "That's okay." But he said, "Let's get it about what you care about. You care about Muay Thai, you care about training in the gym. Obviously, there's going to be getting rid of fat somewhere in there." So I was like, "What about We Fight Fat?" And I was like, "I actually love that." And then from there, the slogan came, "Let's fight fat together." That's the slogan of the company, which is a call to action for any client I might have to say, "Come and join me. Let's do this together." So that was where the name came from. And the basis of the business is twofold. One, it focuses on traditional gym training, like losing weight, gaining weight, building muscle, burning fat, all those sorts of things. And then the other part of it is Muay Thai training. And my overall goal is to show the average Joe that you can have the body of your dreams, but you can also get better at the sport that you love. And I think quite often there are some people who are quite tribal. They'll be in one camp or another camp, and they'll say, "Well, if you chase the body of your dreams, you should only focus on that." Or there'll be people in the other camp that say, "Well, if you train for something like Muay Thai, you should never do curls, or you should never do arm curls, or you should never work on your bum, or you should never work on specific parts of your body, because it's not the best thing for Muay Thai," kind of thing. And I think what a lot of those people sometimes realize is there are a lot of people in the middle who want to look better in a specific way, but also want to get better at a sport. And they don't want to have to just pick one, they want to have both. And that is the goal of the business. It's to show people that you can balance Muay Thai training with your gym training, you can reach your body goals, but you can also get better at the sport. So that's the primary focus.
Yeah.
I think my plan for expansion, as the business starts to grow, is to expand that out into a more abstract concept, which is just how do you mix weights with cardio? Because obviously Muay Thai is a cardio sport. It's a aerobic sport. It's for your very endurance based, whereas your weight training is much more explosive. They're two different types of training, what I'm trying to say. And the goal of the business is to show that you can mix those and come to a happy equilibrium. So that's the.
Where did you this Muay Thai training? What's the origin of this training, and how did you learn? How did you know about it, and where did you learn and you get trained?
So Muay Thai is the national sport of Thailand. It is basically kickboxing. But the difference between Muay Thai and normal kickboxing is kickboxing is essentially what the name is. It's kicking and boxing. But Muay Thai is more than that. It's got another name, which is pretty cool, the art of the 8 limbs. And the 8 limbs are basically all the different parts of your body you fight with. So that would be your punches, your elbows, your knees, your feet,
Wow.
things like that. And so in comparison to normal kickboxing, you can elbow, you can knee, you can clinch. So clinching is like a grappling. It's like a type of stand-up wrestling, if you like. And these are all elements of Muay Thai. And so I first learned about it where I used to live in Southeast London, in Beckenham specifically, when I used to live with my parents, probably when I was about 15, 16. I used to walk down the main high street, and there was a sound coming from the windows above, people just smacking into pads like one after the other, a sound of just like a pad being hit over and over and over again. It was such a loud sound, and you could hear them like grunting and making noises, and it just sounded like loads of fun. And so I went up there one day, and I was like, what, because I knew something about it, but when I was younger, I did karate for a long time, and that's very different. And we can talk about that maybe later, but it wasn't what I was used to, let's just say that. And I didn't know that much about it at that point. And it just looked so much fun, you know, it was straight to the point, it was no nonsense, it was a lot of pad work, a lot of partnering work, a lot of real life situation type work. And I think at that point, I was loving the gym, but I wanted to get back into martial arts because I did karate from a young age. And I've always loved watching things like boxing. And around that time...
So is Muay Thai part of martial arts?
Yes, it's a martial art, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a different type of martial art. Okay. And like I said, it involves kicking, boxing, elbows, knees, grappling. But yeah,
who's your target audience? Is it only men?
No, it's not only men. I would say it's men and women ranging from the age of probably 20 to 35, maybe above that, but that's the specific range I'm going for. But obviously I'm happy to expand that as things grow and look at maybe options for older individuals, but that's my main range I'm looking at, 20 to 30 or 35, around there, and men and women, because I found that even in my own Muay Thai experience, when I joined that club I was talking about, there was probably 2/3 men, 1/3 women, and I thought that was quite a lot, even because I thought it would be like 1 woman or 2 women, but there was always loads of girls in the class. And I tell you what, they would always go consistently, whereas you might see the same guy every few weeks, but the girls would be there like every week. And they also did girls only classes, like just for the women if they weren't comfortable doing the mixed class, which I thought was cool. I think that's a nice idea to do. And so what a lot of the girls would do is they would train in the women's only class, get comfortable, and then when they feel quite beastly, maybe after like 6 months or something, they move into the mixed class. And I tell you what, the first ever session I did, I was training with this like semi-competitive Muay Thai fighter, a lady, and she literally destroyed me. I said to her, like, go full pace for 5 seconds, and she like kicked me in my legs and kicked me to the body and like pushed me over, and it was so much fun. I was like hooked from that moment.
Wow.
But I've actually, since doing the LRA course, I've got a lot of good feedback from girls saying that they love the kickboxing stuff. You know, they want to learn more about it.
Oh, I love it too. Me too.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I think it's just a break from like the normal stuff you see, you know. So it's and it's with the rise of things like UFC, mixed martial arts in the world, it's more relevant now. People just know about it more now. So it's I think it's a good time for it. It's a good time.
And like some people told me, like Muay Thai, I'm not sure if it's like popular in the US, but I have done kickboxing classes, but people have told me that you have to prepare a little bit, do some training a little bit before you actually join a kickboxing class. Is that true? You have to prepare yourself?
I wouldn't say it's absolutely necessary. I would say that out of all the gyms I've been to, martial arts gyms, not just Muay Thai, but when I was younger and did karate, and I've been to boxing gyms as well, they're the most friendly and welcoming places I've been in life, in bar none, compared to work, compared to school, compared to any other experience I've had in life. When you walk into a martial arts gym, there's nothing but respect, because people who have been doing it a long time know how dangerous they can be. And there is an element of self-control that has to come with it, if you understand what I'm saying. So once you understand how to punch, it's knowing when to do that and when not to do that. And when you understand how to do these things, you have you gain a bigger self-respect for yourself and other people. And there's like a camaraderie and friendship in martial arts gyms that I don't think you get in normal gyms, honestly. You know, in normal gyms, it can be quite appearance based. It's very much based on what you look like, and that's fine, and that I have interests in that too. But I think for a lot of people, they want more. When they go and train, or when they go and do something, they want more out of that training. And I think there's nothing better for anybody to go to a martial arts gym, because honestly, I think you'll feel welcome. It seems scary on the outset, right? It seems like, okay, there's violence and people are going to be hitting each other and stuff like that. I've never seen someone be overly aggressive, honestly. The only time I've seen something like that is when it's friends, when it's two guys or two girls, or even a girl and a guy. If they've got a relationship where they know that's okay, they'll press a bit harder. They'll play around with it and have a game. And that actually is a lot of fun when you're comfortable doing that. But when whether you're the average person, you've never tried it before, I would recommend going to a gym. But if you are someone who just doesn't have that confidence, a program like my program, Muay Thai Muscle in 3 weeks, and the other program I'm looking to develop, those would be perfect for developing all of the fundamentals so that you feel comfortable going to a gym like that. So if you're someone who just isn't comfortable with taking that step, doing a program before to learn the fundamentals would be a good start, and then you can go to the gym, I would say. So
okay, that is great information. Thank you for sharing that, Danny, because I myself had so many questions about joining a martial art gym, because I was so scared that I will get hurt.
Yes.
But thank you for clearing that mindset. I appreciate your explanation as well. And now, we talked about who your audience is. So now you have, you are a personal trainer for the regular gym as well as for the martial art gym as well?
So I'm not actually a trainer for any specific gym, but I do train in those two disciplines. So I offer services ranging from both to either on their own. So I currently have 3 one-on-one clients who are doing purely just a gym-based program. They're either trying to lose weight or gain weight. They're doing, body weight exercises, dumbbell exercises, band stuff, all of that kind of normal gym stuff you would expect. But then I do offer also one-on-one training services to do Muay Thai. I offer for both. I'm in the process of talking to a friend about designing a mixed boxing and gym program for them because they love boxing.
Yes.
So that I'm really excited about that. They're actually going away soon, but when they come back, we're looking at doing that together. So that's really exciting. And I also have my product, Muay Thai Muscle in 3 weeks, which is a mixture. So it shows you how to build muscle from home using just your body weight, but it also shows you the fundamentals of Muay Thai. It teaches you the different techniques. It gives you a pre-filled spreadsheet to track everything and follow the program. So it's got the right amount of hand holding. And it's the last module, the last part of it allows you to reuse the whole program for another 3 weeks and even beyond that. So it's not just a 3-week program. You can use it for 6, 9 weeks, maybe even up to 12 weeks you could use it for and keep reusing it. So, and like I said, I'm looking at adapting that, but for people who want to lose weight. So I'm looking at changing that quite soon, or adding to it, sorry.
I know that sounds very interesting, but a lot of work.
It is, do you know what, it's, I offer like a free video series as part of my website, as I'm sure you know, and that is, the tagline is, build muscle and learn Muay Thai in under 6 minutes a day. Now, I might even look at modifying that to lose weight and learn Muay Thai in 6 minutes a day. But the point of it is actually the 6 minutes a day. It's not just a buzzy title to get you captured. It's to make a point that you can do just a little bit and it will do something.
Right.
Obviously, doing more up to a certain point is better, but doing something is better than doing nothing. And I think, especially during this lockdown, I've tried to deliver the message to people who have stopped training that, why have you stopped training? You know, you might not have all that fancy gym equipment, but you have yourself, and you can do so much with just your own body. And I think it's just knowing what to do. So that free series I have on my landing page is on wefightfat.com. And I know Adeline will share the details of that with you guys, but that will teach you really quick and sharp. It's 3 videos, and it will break down different techniques and different things you can do at home to learn Muay Thai and to start training your body.
So tell us a little bit about, like, you have a low-cost product as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what does that offer to clients like me?
Yeah, so the low-cost product at the moment is Muay Thai Muscle in 3 weeks. That's a 6-part product. The first module of the product is fighting at range. So that focuses on like long range attacks and the basics. So like your jab punch and your cross punch and some long rangey kicks. The second module is your body weight basics. So that looks at different exercises you can do with your body to make it stronger and benefit your Muay Thai training. The third module is fighting close and in the clinch. So in that module, we look at some close range attacks and the stand-up grappling I talked about earlier. The fourth module is taking your maximizing your physique and your skills. So in that module, we look at progression. How do you continue to make things harder so that when you become a beast, you can still have a challenge? And it actually looks at some cool combinations you can start. So once you've learned module 1 and module 3, in module 4, I give you ways of combining those. Module 5 is defense and evasion. So in module 5, we look at how do you defend yourself once you know how to attack. How do you block things? How do you move out the way? How should your feet work? And then module 6 is taking your physique and skills to the next level. And so module 6 allows you to take everything you've learned, add something on top of it, and redo the whole 3 weeks at a higher level. So it's, and with all of those things, you get a spreadsheet to handhold you along the way. So you get 2 modules a week, and they're spaced about 3 to 4 days apart. So it's at least 2 workouts a week. You can do more workouts if you have time, but it's at least 2. And one is geared towards Muay Thai, and one is geared to like a body weight workout, doing body weight exercises. And so that's the product. That's the local offering.
So that's all there on your website, correct? And
yeah, so that's
also, if there is any future webinar that you want to invite people, you know, your free webinar to talk about your product. You know, so maybe if you're ready, then I can include the invitation to your webinar also on my link to my YouTube.
Yeah, so depending on when you're looking to upload this, I I was hoping in my next round of webinars to talk about that product but I'm looking at adapting that and creating a new low-cost offering to help people lose weight and learn Muay Thai, because the one I have at the moment is to help them build muscle and learn Muay Thai. So I'm hoping in the next round of webinars to offer both, depending on what that person's goal is. Like I said, I did some surveys over the last few days, and I was asking my audience, what do you guys want? Are you more interested in losing weight, gaining weight? Are you more interested in body weight training or Muay Thai? And the general consensus was people were more focused on losing weight, and people would be more interested in doing a Muay Thai workout. So I think once I've got my new product nailed, I think I'll be then doing another round of webinars.
So cool. Yeah. I can keep adding links to my YouTube. And that's not a problem if you can give me just, you know, links to your webinar whenever they're ready.
Yep.
And then what are there any other products and services you offer apart from this?
So on top of those two products, once they're both ready, I am offering one-on-one coaching services as well. Now, my one-on-one isn't yet available through my website, but if you sign up to my website, we can start communicating over email. And if one-on-one training is something you're interested in, then that's something I can offer you guys. I have a limited amount of spaces, but it's a more tailored experience. So what we do is we go through, okay, where are you at the moment? Where would you like to be? Do you have any interests? Do you have any dislikes? And I take all of these I do like a questionnaire almost. Once I've got all the questions answered, I propose how I think we should do your training, how long. I give you some options. So I kind of have a 4-week option or a 6-week option. Obviously the 4 weeks is at a cheaper price. And we look at, and then you can make a decision on what one-on-one experience works for you. So at the moment, I've got 3 clients one-on-one.
Wow.
I'm looking to take on 2 more, but I've still got quite a few spaces free for the time being. So that is another way that we can engage.
Thank you for sharing that information, Dan. So then, how do you see yourself, like probably 5 years from now?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I've kind of got to
You have to visualize and tell me, like visualize yourself.
I think if I just take a moment to really think, because I was thinking about this before, because obviously this question's come up a few times throughout the course.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to be training more people for sure. I'd like to have a wider product offering. I'd also like to have more partnerships formed with other influencers, other people in those spaces, whether it be Muay Thai or normal gym training or both. You know, if I could find someone else who's focusing on both as well, like I am, that would be a really good relationship to build. I'd also like to move. I know that's that it kind of is related to my business, but I'd like to move out of West London. I'd maybe like to look at living in America for a while. So me and my partner are looking at maybe moving to America at least for 6 months at some point. I know things are crazy at the moment, so it's hard to say when that would be, but I'd like to I'll say in 5 years, I'd like to have definitely lived somewhere else or be living there, have a wider audience, have partnerships formed, and have a comprehensive product base which really covers all of my bases of what I think I can offer. And finally, one last thing I have on the bucket list is to go to Thailand and do a training week there. So that would be really cool. I've looked at some different clubs, so you can actually train. You can actually stay with a Muay Thai club and train with them for like the full 7 days if you want to. And so that's something I'd like to do as well. So to really sharpen my skills and also have an amazing experience. So
Oh, yes.
those are some things I think. I said finally, but one last point. I want to have more of a balance between my fitness lifestyle and my technology IT job as well. You know, I'm not saying that I completely want to get rid of my IT side of my life, because I still have interest in it, but I want to have more of a balance by that point. I want things to be more 50-50, or maybe even in favor of my fitness lifestyle, because I think I have just such a real passion here. So
Right. Excellent. Excellent, Danny. And I'm sure many people would love to hear that balance in your career and your passion. That's where most of us are, even me in my journey. So, um, also, also, I had one thing in mind I wanted to share with you. How about in the future, if you're planning to have a personal trainer kind of certification course? If someone, for example, if I want to become a personal trainer, will you be able to offer a training program or a module, and give a certification in the end?
so I'm looking at that. The thing, this is going to be a little bit of resistance, but it's something to think through. Currently, the course that I'm doing is a globally recognized qualification. So if I go into a gym in America or a gym in England, once I have that qualification ticked, they see me as this qualified, right? And they all recognize it as being a qualification. I would love to offer my methodologies, my beliefs, my experiences as a training course, but I think I need more years training people before I offer that as a service. But it's definitely in my mind. I definitely want to at some point say, look guys, I feel like I've cracked it. Here's how you balance these two. Here's how you optimize it in the best way. And this is how you teach it to people. So that was definitely something I have in mind.
Yes. So I thought I'll just ask you because it was there in my mind. I'm so excited for you, Danny. I am so happy and I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to probably, bring you back on the show in 6 months or even a year's time and see how you're doing as well. So I can feel your passion even while talking to you in this interview process. I can feel your energy and passion. It's just flowing out of you. And that's a very, very good thing. So how can people find you?
So the main place to find me is my website. That's www.wefightfat.com. I'm going to give the link over to Adeline, and she'll leave that in somewhere around the video. And then also via my website, I'm going to soon have my links to my social media, my YouTube, where I post often free content. I post about 1 to 2 times a week on my YouTube. And there I talk about everything related to my business. So everything Muay Thai, gym, everything in between. And finally, something I haven't touched on, I even cover a deformity. So the reason I started training was I have a rib cage deformity. And that was the real reason I started training all way back when I was about 14, 15 years old. I went to doctors about it and things. And I have my best videos on my YouTube channel are those videos. So my YouTube is where you can find me as well, but I'll give my website and that will direct you to where you need to go.
Yes. So are your family and friends supportive of your passion, vision, and mission?
They are. They are. I think it's hard for some. I think the majority of people that are in my circle are happy with their 9 to 5 to a certain extent, and they're happy with that. They like having their weekends. They like going to work, having what they need to do laid out for them. And I think the older I get, the more I want to own my destiny. Like, I want to set out what I do, when I do it, what I achieve, what money it brings in, all of that, all of those questions I want to answer for myself. And I think a lot of people just might not even understand that. So they are supportive. It's just that it's hard to sometimes get across how important it is to me, because being in IT, and I think you are a techie to a certain extent as well, so you might have some experience with this. Being in technology, it is a lucrative industry. It's a very, if you're decent at it, just decent or better, you can earn a good amount of money. And out of all of the other industries out there, it's always on the cutting edge, right? Because it's technology.
Right.
So to all the people in my circle, they look at me and think, well, you're okay, you're in a secure position, why would you need more? And I think, going back to your first question of where did this all come from? How did you decide to do this? When you've reached a certain financial goal, finance, for me anyway, finances are no longer the main concern for me. The main concern for me is this: am I spending my time doing the things that I want to do? And if I'm not, what can I do to spend more time doing the things that I enjoy and spreading the messages that I care about, and connecting with the people that I care about? So going back to your question, they are supportive, but they don't always understand why you want more. Do you see what I mean? Because I think a lot of
I totally get it.
Yeah, and I just think a lot of people always associate more with more money, and you can only get. I feel like when you're younger, when I was young, when I was really young, I always heard people say to me, it's not all about money. It's not all about money. And I think I had to chase that for myself to realize that it wasn't about that for myself. It wasn't enough for someone to just tell me that, because I wanted to achieve a certain financial security. And then I thought, well, I've got this financial security now. I know in at least my technology industry, I'm secure. Why not take some risks? Why not do something exciting, rather than just getting more and more secure?
Right.
I think it's great for some people, but for me, and I think for someone like you as well, we want to chase things that make us passionate, right?
Yes.
We want to be excited about Monday, not excited just about Friday, and so that can be a bit of a struggle, but they are supportive overall.
Okay, it's good to know. So I'm glad you came on the show and shared all this valuable information, Danny. You're so very mature for your age, and you're so knowledgeable about your business, and you're so passionate as well. I think you're more passion driven than anything else. And then, so thank you again for your time and coming on the show. And also, I look forward to having you again. I'm here. I'm here. You just have to let me know that I have something good. I have something great news, and then I will bring you on my show again. And I wish that all those people who are listening get inspired, of what you told them. Like, what is your last minute giveaway to people who are like you? What can you tell them?
My last, and I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I've really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to come back on with exciting things, and to see how you are as well, Adam.
Right.
But I think my last thing is it's good to take direction from certain people in your life and certain perspective, but you yourself need to figure out what's important to you. And as long as it's not, dangerous or hurting anyone, as long as it's a goal which is great for you, great for maybe your family and the people around you, go after it, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because often you'll be in a certain position in life where people will put you in a box, and it's their box, and you have to stay there for their benefit. Don't forget why you're doing what you're doing. Have certain goals and certain aspirations in mind. Visualize getting to that point, and always strive towards that. Those are some key things that I want to give away. And you will get there. Like, I'm sure you've found this on this course. The interesting thing is it's humbling, because
Yeah.
if you're successful to a certain degree in an industry already, if you change, you do have to start from square one, kind of, because it's not like you take some of the stuff you've built, but you can't just take it all and shift it over. You have to take what you can and then build over here and then grow that. And it's humbling me again. It's like, no, you don't know everything, and you're not in, and it's not that I thought that before, it's just that I felt secure before, and now I feel somewhat insecure in this new position, but it feels good. It feels exciting. And I think that's the key giveaway. Build some crazy dreams, go after them, and hold yourself accountable. That is the last thing. I know I'm giving you loads of stuff here, but honestly, hold yourself accountable. No one else is going to tell you to get up and do it. Even your parents might say, you know, if you go crying to your parents because you had a really hard week, your mom might say, well, just, you know, make yourself a cup of tea, just chill out. But actually, that might be the time you need to go through the fire to get what you want. So hold yourself accountable, know what you're trying to get to, and just get there. Just keep going and get there.
So thank you again, Danny, for sharing all that valuable information. And again, once again, thank you for your time. And I wish you all the best of success. And I know you will keep on track, and I know you're going to build big. So also, people, thank you for watching the Atlanta Real. And all of Danny's information will be included as links in my YouTube video. If you want to reach out to him or watch his videos, or just to follow him, for all his future products and digital products. And if you like the show, if you like this interview, with Danny, he's such a great guy. So please subscribe, like, and share it with your family and friends. And do not forget to do that. So thank you again, Danny, and thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it having Danny on the show. And I hope you all have a great day. And I will see you again soon. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.